everyone, Darkside Phil here, and welcome to the weekend preview for October 14th, 2012. And whew, what a whirlwind week it's been, what a busy week it's been. Multiple games, multiple things going on, some surprise releases, some new things that have now been announced that I want to address. Lots of stuff to talk about. And then, of course, talking about this week coming up, I actually need your help to determine what I'm going to be playing tomorrow and how I'm going to be doing it, and I'll explain about that in the video. I'm on a little bit of an impasse right now as to what to do, and this is it. Officially, we've now hit the point during the hardcore gaming season when there's just too much stuff coming out. I can't play it all, or at least not immediately, okay? And we're going to discuss that during this week in preview. Once I start telling you about some of the stuff that's coming out this week, you're going to be like, holy shit, okay? Alright, so first, let's recap what we've done in this past week, okay? Basically, we capped off Resident Evil 6. We sufficiently played enough of the Mercenaries mode. I actually did some co-op gameplay with Panda Lee of the Mercenaries mode of Resident Evil 6. That was a lot of fun. I did that last Sunday. And now that game is officially done until there's a DLC. So we managed to do that. We tried out the Medal of Honor Warfighter Online Beta. And I had tried some of this gameplay last week, but on Monday I actually tried to do some fan appreciation with fans. I do apologize to the fans who unfortunately didn't get to play or were trying to play. The beta, apparently the matchmaking is a mess. And I was getting so many requests of people who wanted to play. And I would fill the matchmaking, you know, the room, the party, and then we would go into an online game, and the game would automatically start mixing people into the other team. It would drop people from the game altogether. The voice chat wasn't even working. Like, I was talking, no one could hear me, and I couldn't hear them. It was a mess, and all I can say is I actually enjoyed the online multiplayer of Medal of Honor. I'm hoping they fix it for the retail release, because that was a poor excuse for a beta when it came to the matchmaking service. It was awful, okay? So we did that, and then on Tuesday was the day of many, many releases. You had the release of Dishonored, the release of XCOM Enemy Unknown, and then, completely by surprise, Telltale Games had announced, like, last minute that this past week, Walking Dead Episode 4 would be released, which it did. It released on the PlayStation on Tuesday, and then on PC and the Xbox 360 on Wednesday. So what I did for those first 2 days of Tuesday and Wednesday, half and half. I played half my day Dishonored, half my day XCOM, so that there was enough footage of each game to keep everyone appeased. On Thursday, I decided, you know what? A lot of people are asking for it. It was kind of annoying that there were some people who were spamming the comments of the other playthroughs saying, we want to see Walking Dead, we want to see Walking Dead. So I actually went ahead and played the Walking Dead Episode 4 on Thursday, as well as made an informative channel update video, okay? So that was done. On Friday, I said, gee, today's the day where I'm really going to push. I'm going to try to do a lot of content. So I completely finished Dishonored. It ended up being 68 parts, so pretty decent length. I think it was around 11 to 12 hours long. And I actually was able to do the Hateful Truth game review of Dishonored. A lot of people were kind of on the fence about Dishonored because there were these rumors going around by these idiot advanced reviewers saying the game was only 4 hours long, which is a complete fucking lie. And I really hope that Hateful Truth, for a game like that people wanted to take a chance, you know, this is the hardcore gaming season, do I want to take a chance to spend my money on a game? I hope that my review answered that question for a lot of people. For me, I think that the game was great, and I think it's a must-play. Don't miss it, okay? And then we did the newest episode of the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway, which actually, I have very good news in regards to this. We've got winners. That's right, we've got legit winners. I now have legit winners for the first 4 games. So yes, this week, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, Top Gun, Game of Thrones, and Sorcery will all be on their way to the winners. Congratulations to you if you won. And I'm still waiting to hear. It's only been a couple days, so I'm not surprised, but I'm waiting to hear on the winner of Prototype. And keep in mind, every Friday we're doing these videos. This Friday coming up, there'll be another Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway video where I announce the winner of Prototype and we draw a new game. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Some of these collector's editions of games that I think people are really going to be looking forward to winning. So pay attention and tune in on Friday night, okay? So we did that on Friday. Saturday was a very busy day. John Rambo was here for the first time in several weeks, so we filmed an extra long edition of Smart Guys. It's almost over 50, it is over 50 minutes, over on his John Rambo Presents channel, so check that out. That's our wrestling commentary show, if you're not aware. You know, it's funny because I take things for granted. Like, I've been doing Smart Guys for 2 years now. It's actually the 2-year anniversary of Smart Guys, and I was kind of thinking that, you know, everyone knows what it is, but then I realized I have new fans all the time. People that are new subs, new people who watch my videos, they don't realize all the stuff that I do, especially stuff that I'm not doing directly here. So yeah, John Rambo and I do a wrestling commentary show every single week, or at least we try to. We try to do it weekly, but past couple of months we've been a little bit sketchy with that. But and we record it and it goes over on his YouTube channel, John Rambo Presents. So definitely check that out if you're a fan of pro wrestling, okay? And then we did our final set of WWE 12 simulation matches. This time we simulated the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, which is actually happening in 15 minutes. I'm not even kidding you. I'm recording this right now before I watch Bound for Glory. So if you want to see the cool simulation of that pay-per-view, check out those matches. Some of them are pretty entertaining and some of them are pretty funny too. Now that was the last set of simulation matches that we're doing in WWE 12. Just got my mustache completely soaked when I drank that. We will be coming back at the end of this month, the last weekend of October, which is like, I think it's like, it's actually, I take it back, it's actually the first weekend of November. I think it's like November 2nd or 3rd. I can't see my calendar from here. But we will be doing simulation of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in WWE 13. And that's going to be exciting because it's going to be the first time we're doing simulation matches in that game, and we'd love to see how they turn out, okay? What they've changed, what they've improved, etc. Okay, and then today, unfortunately, I do admit, no new videos besides this one. I wasn't feeling well. I think from all the gaming that I did this week, we're switching between games, pushing on Friday to beat Dishonored, and, oh, one more thing, sorry, I forgot. John and I also played this cool throwback game called Retro City Rampage. It's a game that's a tribute to all the classic NES games. In fact, it's got gameplay from a lot of the classic Atari and NES games. It's got references to Pitfall and Back to the Future and Ninja Turtles and Sonic the Hedgehog, and it plays like an 8-bit Grand Theft Auto. In my opinion, the game's outstanding. John and I both love the game. However, from the views that I'm seeing the playthrough getting, it may be that maybe a lot of people don't get the references, because maybe it's a little bit for an older audience like me, and maybe people that are younger than me aren't getting it. Or it could simply be there's too much stuff. You guys, you know, this week I played Dishonored, I played XCOM, I played The Walking Dead Episode 4, and by the way, yes, I am noticing that even though sometimes views are a little bit slower on weekdays, I am getting massive jumps in views on the weekend, okay? To just yesterday and today, the views that I'm getting on YouTube, you know, as the view total updates have been outstanding. So thank you, everyone. I get the feeling that a lot of people just don't have a chance to watch stuff during the weekend. The weekend is when they load up on footage. So thank you for your viewership. I appreciate it. And it may just be that a lot of people didn't get to watch the Retro City Rampage stuff yet, but I'm loving it so far. I think the game's outstanding, okay? Today I was under the weather. I was so burnt out from playing so many games over the past week, a couple of weeks actually. You know, it's been kind of a crazy marathon of new games. And I just felt like shit when I woke up. I was still tired. You ever have one of those days you wake up and you're like, oh, I can't even get out of bed. My eyes won't open. I just feel like gravity is extra heavy on me today. And I just looked and I said, well, here's the thing. Usually once a week I kind of do stuff with my parents because I like to see them a couple times a month. And this was our day when we were going to go to dinner. So I said, oh my God, I want to definitely feel good enough for that. And that's incidentally why I'm wearing, you know, a shirt, and, you know, I just came back from dinner with my parents. So I said, you know what? It's not a big deal. There's nothing insanely crazy going on right now. I'm not in the middle of a crazy playthrough, although I am kind of, which I'm going to talk about, so don't worry. But I'm just going to take the day to rest. I need it. And I did. I slept extra long. I got up, did some housework. Parents came over, went to dinner. Having a good day now because I got the rest that I needed. I'm feeling a lot better, okay? So, let's talk about what's coming up this week. I need your help to determine what I'm going to play tomorrow, okay? And I got some news, some things I want to announce and make clear. So let's get to it. First of all, I do want to mention that the Dishonored Hateful Truth game review was my 100th episode of the Hateful Truth. 100 episodes, 100, and keep in mind that's not 100 games reviewed, because there was a time during the Hateful Truth when I was doing one a week and I was reviewing all the games I played in the week. So some of those Hateful Truths have multiple games. I mean, I played hundreds of games and hundreds of playthroughs here on YouTube since I started in 2008. And I talk a little bit at the beginning of that episode about what it feels like doing 100 episodes. I do apologize because, like I said, I was thinking of maybe doing a retrospective, maybe doing like a compilation video of some of the best moments from the Hateful Truth and some of the controversial things that have happened as a result of the Hateful Truth, some of the mainstream attention that I got for reviews, like my Duke Nukem Forever review. But unfortunately, I just don't have time. And we're now at this time in the year when there's going to be so much stuff going on, so many games being released, DLCs being released, so much content. There's no way I can do it all, at least at the time of release, okay? So let's talk a little bit about that, because there's a lot going on this week. Tomorrow, what I want to do is one of two things, so I need your help to determine what to do. I'm kind of at a conundrum, I'm at an impasse here. I don't know what to do, because earlier this week, as you know, if you were following along, I did play XCOM Enemy Unknown. I played about 5 hours of gameplay, I would say, maybe a little more or less, give or take, and unfortunately, the game has a glaringly big problem, okay? The game, very stupidly, has a tutorial that teaches you to play the game incorrectly. And I'm not joking or exaggerating. All the mainstream game reviewers are saying the same thing, okay? The game teaches you how to play it in a fashion that you only keep playing the story missions. You don't realize that there's these side content where you're supposed to be building satellites, you're supposed to be buying interceptors, which are these flying aircraft, you're supposed to be shooting down UFOs around the world, and doing these side missions during the game so that your party can level up, and that the entire world that's invaded by aliens stays with you in your alliance against the aliens. Since you don't do that, because the game doesn't explain you have to, or even how really, you end up just doing the story missions over and over and over. And I actually advanced the story to the point where now all the missions available to me are insanely hard. Like, I can barely even beat one, and sometimes I can only beat it by doing multiple times, reloading saves. There's no way for me to easily beat these missions. And apparently people are saying, well, that's what it was like back in the day, too. You really didn't understand what you were to do. You would play around with the game and figure out how to do it. Guess what? It's 2012, not 1997. So regardless of if your game is a throwback to the old game and the gameplay is very reminiscent, that's fine, but fucking explain how to play your game properly. Don't tell the player, keep doing the story missions, have characters in the game say, this is what you should be focusing on, and then you play yourself into a corner. That's quite literally what I've done with XCOM. I've played myself into a corner that I can't get out of. And people have been saying, oh, Phil, just start over. It's okay, just start over. The game's like 20 to 30 hours long. I can't start over and throw away 5 hours of gameplay. You know what I mean? Again, this is the busiest time of gaming for the year. There's new releases coming out on Tuesday that I want to play more than I want to try to do a redo of XCOM. So I am very saddened that this game is actually really good. I'm enjoying it, but they fucking horrendously programmed the tutorial and it completely fails and literally makes you fail in the game. A tutorial that makes you fail. The tutorial is a beginner's trap. What the fuck were they thinking with that? What a bunch of idiots. But outside of that, the game's outstanding. If I had more time, if there weren't new releases coming out this week that I wanted to play, then I would continue the XCOM playthrough, okay? As it stands right now, I only have one day. Monday. That's the only day for sure this week that I could say I'm free and I can play stuff, okay? So I'm at a wall, and let's see if you guys can help me. Tomorrow I have a couple options. I can either, number one, attempt to play XCOM from where I was with the team that I have, and what I'm going to end up having to do is probably only picking the easiest missions, which at this point are saying hard or very difficult, and try to beat them. More than likely, after a couple hours of gameplay, I'm going to fail. The game actually makes you lose. If too many people leave the Global Alliance, you lose the game. And there's no way, realistically, I'm going to be able to beat these missions that are coming up. So I get the feeling I'm going to fail some, and I'm going to lose, and the game's going to end. Okay? I don't have time to restart the game. So the restarting is out of the question. So the two options for XCOM are I could just keep trying to play as is and try to end out the playthrough, or I can do what some people have recommended and some people have said it's a cheat. It is a game cheat. There are hero characters in the game, okay? And what these are characters that if you take one of the grunts or whatever and you name them a certain name, she turns into an amazingly powerful character. These are the names of like the game developers and stuff, like Sid Meier. Sid Meier is an amazingly strong psychic telepath guy, and you can make him, he's a hero character, he has high HP, and he's really good. So I could, at this point in the playthrough where I'm kind of stuck, change all my characters into hero characters. Now what this does, it is a cheat. It's cheating basically. You're artificially leveling up your characters to have amazing abilities. In addition to that, it's going to disable the achievements in the game. So I won't be able to get achievements for beating the game or anything like that. But I'll be able to at least try to continue the playthrough with these better characters in the harder missions. Maybe that'll help. So that's a suggestion. I can either just play XCOM as is until it ends and I fail, or I can continue playing XCOM with hero characters and see if that helps and if I can maybe succeed, okay? All that being said, I only have one guaranteed day this week, Monday, that I can play XCOM. So more than likely, even if I do hero characters, I'm still not going to beat the game, okay? The other option is Retro City Rampage, because I'll be honest with everyone, I love the game. I was playing it yesterday. There were a couple annoying missions, absolutely, but the game is fun as hell. I'm loving the references. I'm loving everything about it. It's pure nostalgia, and I really like that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's getting an audience, you know what I mean? Like the views, I can't tell. First of all, it's only been out, the playthrough as of now has only been out for like 15, 16 hours, so I can't even tell accurately what the views are on the videos, but from what I can see, they're not great. I mean, you could tell when a playthrough is getting great views, and this one is not. So I don't know what's the better option. Should I play Retro City Rampage, which I know I'm going to enjoy, it's going to be great for me, but I don't know if anyone's really going to be interested in watching it. Do I continue XCOM and just play till I fail, or do I try to cheat to win? What do I do tomorrow? So I'm interested on your input. Please, in the comments of this video, let me know, or on Twitter, whatever you want to do, Facebook, let me know what you think I should do tomorrow on Monday, okay? Now let's talk about this week's new releases, because there are lots of them, okay? This week, 2 new retail games. We've got 007 Legends, and we've got Doom 3 BFG Edition. In addition to that, we've got a DLC, not a DLC game, but a Xbox Live Arcade game, Serious Sam 3, which I wanted to play last year when it came out for PC, and there was never a console version. It took them a year to make a console version. I don't know why. It blows my mind. And then we've also got the first DLC for Borderlands 2 is coming out this week. It's a story-based DLC. And then supposedly, I don't know, because there was supposed to be an announcement today, and since I've been, out of it, I wasn't awake for most of the day. I don't know if it was announced, but the Sleeping Dogs is going to get its first batch of DLCs in October. I think some of them might be coming out this week, including a story-based DLC, okay? So, here's the plan. Here's what I'm thinking. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll probably play some 007 Legends and some Doom 3 BFG Edition. If you don't know what 007 Legends is, it's a really cool concept. It's a Bond game, James Bond, where you play as different Bonds, like all the classic, the Roger Moore Bond, the Sean Connery Bond. You're going to go through playing as some of the more classic Bonds. I think that's a really neat concept. In addition to that, Doom 3 BFG Edition is basically a collection of Doom, Doom 2, and a newly remastered HD version of Doom 3 that was remastered for consoles, plus the expansion that came out for Doom 3, plus a brand new set of missions. So that's awesome. Doom 3, highly underrated game in my opinion. When it came out, people were like, I don't really like it. Now there's so many games that play like it. Like it's this FPS game where it's not survival horror, but it's very it's horror where there's monsters jumping out with jump scares and crazy gory shit going on. You go to hell. It's really good, and I think it didn't get as much credit as it deserved back then. People had too high expectations for it, and I'm really excited to play it in a playthrough HD version. I mean, it's going to be awesome. Okay, it's going to be great. So probably what I'm going to do is play some of 007, some of Doom each day. If not, maybe one day I'll play 007, one day I'll play Doom. And we'll see how far we get with those games, okay? On Friday, we will have another Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway video, Friday night. On Saturday, okay, I'm doing co-op with John Rambo. He'll be here again. We're going to do co-op in Serious Sam 3. Now, we don't know how long the game is. We don't know, how great it is or anything like that, but we do want to try to do co-op. So we're going to basically all day be doing co-op in it and see how far we can get, okay? Sunday and Monday are going to be highly dependent on how far I got in 007 Legends and in Doom 3. I'll probably be finishing up those games Sunday and Monday if I haven't had a chance to beat them by then, okay? But this begs the question. But Phil, you mentioned there might be some DLCs this week. Yeah, I did. But here's the bottom line. Ridiculously poorly timed. Like, okay, I understand that you want to get your DLC out there, especially for a game that may be a month or two old, and you're trying to attract people to keep the game and keep playing the game, but This is the hardcore gaming season, people. Like, there's no reason for Borderlands 2 to have its first story-based DLC released a month after the game was released retail. Like, that is too quick. You know what I mean? Some people are still playing the campaign of Borderlands 2. It's too fast to be releasing that DLC. They should have waited till like December or January when it started dying down. That's when you start releasing that stuff. So here's the thing. I do want to do Borderlands 2 DLC with John Rambo and the Aerie Lord. We've all talked about it and said, yeah, when these DLCs come out, we'll consider playing them. I don't realistically see us scheduling that this week. I don't realistically see that happen next week, because next week you got Medal of Honor Warfighter, and then Leanna's coming to visit, and we're going to do all of our Halloween special content, which I'm going to mention and talk about in a little bit. But I don't see it happening. I just don't see us playing Borderlands 2 anytime soon. So that's a fault of the game. Here's the DLC. If it only came out a month after the game was released retail, it's pretty obvious it was done during the course of the development of the retail game, and they were just waiting to release it, and now they're trying to like get it out there quickly. Bad strategy, in my opinion. I think that people are not going to be buying this DLC unless they bought the season pass, which a lot of people did. With the case of Sleeping Dogs, at least if there's a DLC, maybe it'll be a couple hours long, but I don't expect like a story DLC for Sleeping Dogs to be long and lengthy like I know the Borderlands one probably will be. Therefore, if the Sleeping Dogs story DLC comes out this week, I may be able to see if I can slide it in. And the other thing is, Sleeping Dogs I haven't played for a couple months, so yeah, maybe I wanted to play it again. I just played Borderlands 2. Like, it just baffles me that they're doing this so quickly. So, that's the deal for this week. Going to be full of content. Tomorrow, whatever I choose to play based off of everyone's recommendations. 007 Legends, Doom 3 BFG Edition. And no, with Doom 3 BFG Edition, I'm probably not playing Doom 1 and 2. The games are not redone in HD or anything like that, or in 3D. And I have to focus on the more modern stuff, and Doom 3 is the game I really want to play there. So that's what I'm going to be playing there. Serious Sam co-op on Saturday. Going to be jam-packed with content all week, plus the possibility of maybe a Sleeping Dogs DLC. Unfortunately, Borderlands 2 DLC goes on the back burner until I find some downtime that I can play it, okay? Alright. A couple other things I want to mention. Some people have been asking about Assassin's Creed 3, because here's the thing. It was just announced. Why would you announce 2 weeks before? But I know why. Here's what happened. Just announced that if you buy Assassin's Creed 3 for the PlayStation 3, you get 4 exclusive missions that only are on the PlayStation 3, and they add an hour of content to the game. Too bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. It doesn't affect my buying decision at all, because I already reserved the collector's edition of Assassin's Creed 3 on Xbox 360 several months ago, and there's no way that I would be able to change my reserve from the 360 to the PlayStation 3 version and still get the collector's edition. They're all sold out. I've checked at all the GameStops around here, even all the stores around here, they're all sold out. And I'm not going to order 2 copies of the game, you know what I mean? I'm not going to order online and get the game late and not be able to start it on launch day, so that's that. I already pre-ordered Assassin's Creed 3 on Xbox 360 for the Collector's Edition. I don't care about the 4 additional missions. Here's really what happened. Cross-platform games traditionally sell much better on Xbox, and the sales numbers are much lower on PlayStation 3. It's just a fact. And if anyone wants to dispute it, oh, because you're a PlayStation 3 fanboy, I'll tell you right now, you're wrong. Go look at sales numbers for any cross-platform game, including Assassin's Creed, including Call of Duty. All these games that are cross-platform always sell more on the Xbox 360. So I think what's happening here is that Sony was maybe saying, okay, let's give people an incentive to buy the game on PlayStation 3. People who maybe are undecided and haven't decided yet. But here's the thing. If they had announced 2 months ago that only the PlayStation 3 version was getting these 4 missions, there's a possibility that people who only owned an Xbox might have got pissed off and said, oh, so Sony's fucking paying extra money to get content. Fuck this, I'm not reserving the game then. If they're gonna get extra content, I don't want to play the game. Fuck them. You know, console fanboys, they have this kind of mentality. So I think what they did is they said, okay, don't announce this extra content is going to be on there until like the last minute. So here we are 2 weeks before Assassin's Creed 3 is released. Now they all of a sudden announce it, and people are like, damn, why did you wait so long? So, no, I'm not changing my mind. I'm not switching over to the PS3. I'm still playing Assassin's Creed 3 on the Xbox 360 because that's the collector's edition that I reserved. Okay? Last thing is that I want to talk about is the Halloween weekend. which is not next weekend, but the weekend after. Leanna will be here to visit, Panda Lee, and we're going to have a special Halloween celebration video. We're each going to have our Halloween costumes we're going to be wearing, which will be pretty cool, I think. And then we are going to do some more co-op of Tokyo Jungle, because we really enjoyed that gameplay last time when she visited. But we've decided we're going to resume our stupid horror game series, and we're going to play some horror-themed games for this Halloween special weekend, and we're going to still do the camera for picture-in-picture. So you're going to see us in our Halloween costumes playing horror games. Now that's Halloween, okay? So that's in 2 weeks. What I would like, again, is for people to recommend horror games for us to play that are, games that I could get my hands on, maybe for the PC. Like, I heard SCP is a good one. I might try that. I've heard there are a couple mods for Half-Life and Half-Life 2. If you could let me know what those are, maybe I'll look into possibly getting those, okay? Or some other ones, suggestions that you have. Let me know silly horror games that, all these other people play and they go, ah, on camera, try to get cheap views, and it works. And we're going to play them the way that we did our stupid horror games last time, and we're going to be in our Halloween costumes. I think it's going to be a blast. So I need your recommendations for horror games to play as well, okay? Alright, that's it for the weekend preview. I'm already gone into Bound for Glory. I went too long, so I got to hurry up and end this. Thanks a lot. I'll see you for new gameplay this week. Please let me know what I should do on Monday, and please make recommendations for horror games. Peace out. I'll see you for gameplay. Goodbye.